Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. If you guys didn't know, huge news was announced today. Basically, Gaijin has concretely given us information as to how their new tech trees are going to work, and they've actually provided us with new tech trees for both air and ground for every nation currently in game, which is fantastic. So I'll be going over exactly what these tech trees look like right now. Also, there are going to be some premium vehicles, and I think some regular tech tree vehicles as well, but premium vehicles that will be seeing rank changes, and those premium vehicles are here. Now, this is all tentative, so it might not stick, but we will see this happening with the next major update. So that being said, as you can see here, I mean, even thus far, right, it's pretty damn condensed. Now, early on, the tech tree isn't all that condensed, which makes some level of sense, but as we get further and further into it, it gets thinner and thinner. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the M1HC used to be in the M1 line, but now it comes after the M60A3 TTS, the M3 Bradley, the M551, all these things, right? Like, it's gotten a lot smaller, the tech tree. Some things are still folded, which is very nice. Of course, the XM803, the MBT70 being prime examples, but again, we are seeing some changes here. Now, event vehicles are also in some instances changing rank. I think the M901 used to be rank 5, if I'm not mistaken. That is going up to rank 6. Now, it is also very important to note that prices are going to be increasing with rank changes, so you want to bear that in mind. Also, foldered vehicles will actually see a price decrease, all foldered vehicles. So not only are they going to be introducing more vehicles into folders, but we will be seeing cheaper prices, so it should be around 50% less expensive henceforth to start grinding the MBT70 to be able to unlock it, which is really nice. But those are just the general rules, as you could see. I mean, it's largely the same, but not really. I mean, these are very condensed, extremely condensed, and there are some instances here, like the M60A1, for example. I think that was different. Now we have to grind for the M60, I guess, but not the M48A1, which makes a lot of sense. I don't know why the M60 was an optionally unlocked vehicle before, but there it is. Going to Germany, again, we see largely the same thing here. There are far fewer vehicles, it looks like, at least just upon first look, to unlock in rank 3. You have other things, you know, that are kind of coming up here that are unlockable optionally, which is very nice. Some of these things, like the Martyr A1, the SPZ BMP1, for whatever reason, they didn't really do a great job with the pictures, kind of making it obvious. But again, we have these that are optionally unlocked. Now the DF105, optionally unlocked, and it will cost half the RP, which is fantastic. But we're pretty much making it so that not only are there far fewer vehicles that you have to unlock to get to the bottom of the tech tree, which is humongously important, but we are also getting it to where the ones that are now optionally unlocked cost a substantial amount less, which will give people a much better reason to play them. Additionally, we now have top rank premiums. That's something Gaijin said that they would never do, but the thing is, it's not really, I don't really know if it matters, right? Because this was a rank 6 before, and it literally is going to be the same BR, I think, right? It should be the same BR as before, but it's going up in rank, and the reason that's going to do is that once rank 8 comes out, this will be able to research rank 8 more effectively. Now, the thing is, this is, again, for example, the Leopard 2 PZBTL 123, that will be a higher price, $70 most likely, so you want to buy that now if that's what you're going to end up doing before the update comes out. Okay, now let's just go cruise on through here. This is the Russian ground tech tree. Again, we see a lot of just, it's being condensed substantially. It looks like the T55 AM1 is going to keep at rank 6, which is interesting. However, the Terms is going to rank 7, same with the 2S38. BMP2M is going to rank 7. I am a bit surprised by that, or is it currently rank 7? I forget. Either way, we are starting to see huge changes here. The T62 M1 that was previously at that BR, now you can unlock the AMD1 optionally, which is really nice. The Object 2 685, I think that was an optional unlock. You have all these things that are optional unlocks, and you know, I'm by no means an expert of tech trees. However, you can see here that there are a lot more when it comes to optionally unlocked vehicles, typically towards the top end of the tech trees, but very cool. Going to Great Britain, again, all the same. Wow, this is a much shorter tech tree, but very good nonetheless. So we now have the Ruhrkat Mark 1D, Mark 1A, the MTTD, really? Those are folder vehicles? I don't get that, but okay. You would think that the Elephant Mark II would be in the same folder maybe as the TTD, but maybe not, right? So you also have, let's see, Carnarvon, the Conqueror. That's interesting. The Conqueror is going to be an optional vehicle. It's very interesting, as a matter of fact. And then, of course, the Challenger DS. So it kind of seems like the top BR premium for each one of these tech trees is going to be the rank 7. Japan, of course, is a much smaller tech tree. Of course, Japan doesn't quite yet have like that 10 BR plus premium, which is interesting. But, of course, we will be seeing that fairly soon. So, I mean, like, if you look at this, I mean, heck, they even folded. It looks like the TKX. I'm not able to zoom down here any further because of how this website's set up, but you can now get those two vehicles. They're folded, which means that the TKX is going to be 50% off when it comes to RP. That is fantastic. Hopefully they don't increase RP costs for modules, as they're a sick way of kind of making up for it, but this is just fantastic. Again, I don't know how I feel about the premiums going up in price, even though they are going up in rank, because ultimately the whole idea behind rank is simply because premiums, it basically ranks, all they do is they control how you research, right? So like, I already have a huge video about all this, but long story short, premiums are, ranks rather. So if you get like rank 5, for example, like the M60A1 DC Ariat, and that means that you can research without penalty through rank 6 with a premium, right? So if you have a rank 5 premium, you can research for rank 6 without RP penalty, which is fantastic. Now, if you don't ever have a rank 7, right? Like if all these rank 7 tanks were moved to rank 6, that'd be excellent. That would be it. But if they start moving like all those rank 6, or better said, like let's see if you get the VRCC. This can currently research every vehicle in the Italian ground tech tree without RP penalty. Now if they decide to move the Ariat AMV to rank 8, that's one less vehicle it can research. So basically rank 8 is totally unnecessary in my opinion for ground. Like it would do nothing to help ground at all. And the only way that they would do that is if they have like literally up to today, brand new tanks that are still probably testing. And yeah, that would just screw over a bunch of players. But the fact that we have rank 7 tanks now is indicating to me that we are starting to get that we are going to be seeing rank 8 vehicles very, very soon. But this is interesting. So the Leclerc S2 is going to be folded, which is nice. Again, all these things are being folded. Awesome. The 105 and the 32 are folded. The Brennus is going to be folded. Great. Look at this. This is absolutely fantastic. It's just wonderful. The Char 25T is going to be folded. That's interesting. ELC Bish with the Lorraine? You would think, I guess that the Folk, you really can't do it with the CA Lorraine, but it's just interesting. Some of these folder choices are very strange, but it's good. It's good regardless of if they match or not. And then, of course, we have the Swedish. Now, with countries like Sweden, I'm not going to think that we're going to have as many folder vehicles, but heck, I could be wrong. Like, look at all these folder vehicles. It's great. Now, the CV90105, that's going to go up in price, or it's going to likely go up to $70. Which sucks. You can get the Mark 4B and LIC. That's folded. The Mark 3C is going to be folded. That's fantastic. This is just, it's so great. This is great. This is great. Like, it makes it so that instead of having to research like 20 bajillion vehicles, now you only have to research 10. And if you want to research really cool modifications of vehicles, you can. And it'll be cheap. So let's go over to USA now. Again, I'm going to try to make this real quick. So the F-16 ADF is going to be folded, and the F-16A is going to be the primary one that you can get. Wow, that's awesome. That is really, really cool. Holy... The A7s are going to be folded. That's cool. That's cool, man. I'm happy about that. The F9s, okay, weren't these already folded though? Or was one? I think the F9, F8 was not folded, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, it's still really cool. you know? This is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Also, the F5C will be a rank 7 premium, which means it'll cost $70. So let's go down to Germany. And again, I mean, I'm looking at most of the higher rank stuff because that's kind of where all of this is. And if you hear me clicking in the background, oh, all the ME-262s are grouped up. That's cool. But if you hear me clicking in the background, the reason being, oh, the Yabo is going to be separate as a strike aircraft. Makes total sense because it can carry bombs. But if you hear me clicking in the background, the reason being is simply because you have to click on these in order to know if there are vehicles underneath in those folders. So it makes some level of sense for me. That's interesting. So they have the early G2s that are going to be folded individually, and then they have these ones. Pretty cool. This is great. This is great. The only real thing that I kind of have a problem with here is the fact that they're going to increase ranks yet again. Unnecessary, in my opinion, like totally unnecessary. But when it comes to just the regular tech tree, this is great, genuinely. So the MiG-19 and the MiG-21 F-13 are going to be folded together? Does that make, I mean, I guess it makes some level of sense. They're pretty comparable when it comes to how good they are relative to that BR. Like, they're not very similar vehicles outside of their maneuverability, but it's kind of good. I guess that makes some level of sense, however weird that is. So again, we're seeing a bunch of this like compression in a way, which is great. Now the FG1, the Phantom FG1 and the FGR2 are not going to be in the same. That makes some level of sense though, because I think one of them is naval, the other is the Sea Venom is going to be mixed with the Sea Hawk. Okay, the Canberras, you're going to be able to optionally unlock the Mark 6. This is great. Now they are messing with that huge chunk of Spitfires, which is kind of cool, I guess. So to make it easier for you to grind out, I think the F Mark 24, which is considered to be the best Spitfire in War Thunder. Well, by some people. I mean, definitely insofar as performance is concerned. But relative to BR, of course, that's for anyone to guess. They're still not taking out the R2Y2s. That's good, but they are foldering them, which is also cool. But that doesn't really matter because there's nothing really after it. So, I mean, this is in effect the same, except that now the other R2Y2s are going to cost half as much to be able to unlock for RP. So that's a good thing. That's really, really good as a matter of fact. F-86s, okay. I mean, the Japanese air tech tree is unfortunately pretty thin after World War II because Japanese vehicles are just so good. So good in my opinion. They are among the best aircraft in War Thunder. But here we are. Again, air for China. It doesn't appear as though they're getting a ton, but the J-72 is going to be folded with the J-6A. Kind of similar to how the MiG-19 PT and the MiG-21 F-13 are going to be folded. So that's cool. Then we have, of course, Italy. Italy has some cool vehicles as well. No real foldering outside of the G91 near top tier. Of course, you know, they're going to have some vehicles here that are going to change rank on the right side. Now, if you guys are noticing that, let me know which one is probably the worst. You know, if that makes any sense, like the biggest shock for you. Because, of course, like, again, I'm not a compendium of ranks, so I oftentimes forget what ranks vehicles are. So if you see a rank increase and it's especially egregious, let me know in the comments below because I am interested. But I think the 1C and the Mark and the 3 or the 3C and 3E were separate. Now you can get the the Super Mysteer is going to be optional. Also, this is going to open up a lot of doors for stock dispaded, let me tell you. Oh man, it is. Wow, I'm hoping that a lot of people are going to start playing these optionally unlocked vehicles. The T-62M1 is one of my favorite tanks in War Thunder, and it's optional. You know, it's a folded vehicle. But Sweden doesn't really have any folded vehicles, it looks like, anywhere near top tier, which kind of sucks, but it's expected, you know? I mean, it's Sweden. And then, of course, Israel is pretty much the same. So that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, the Sambad and the Sa'ar are going to be folded. The A4H and the M, or the E rather, are going to be folded. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I mean, this is huge changes. And again, we are seeing far more folded vehicles, and the vehicles that are going to be folded outside of the first one. So like the required unlock in that, you know, for example, again, I'll just go down here to the F-16. The F-16A is still going to cost the same amount of RP. The F-16 ADF, the AADF, is going to cost half as much RP. So every vehicle in a folder outside of the initial vehicle in that folder is going to cost half as much RP. But again, premium costs are going to increase, at least insofar as if a vehicle increases in rank, which is going to happen in some instances, even that I found, like the Leopard 2 Panzer Battalion 123. But that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I kind of wanted this to be a much quicker video, but of course, they never are with me, and I really didn't expect to have this much news today, but this is a very important thing here, and I'm glad to have shared it with you. So either way, thanks so much for watching. Please, if you don't mind, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, the M1A2 SEP is now going to be half as much. The IPM-1 is going to be half as much. Man, that's cool. That is really, 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 really cool. So either way, thanks again. I will see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone. This is The 286 is going to be half as much? Wow. Awesome.